Today, I, Cameron McCloskey, and my partner Trevor Millington from Taunton High School will be evaluating the Ford Motor
For our
Company.
company overview, we selected the Ford Motor Company, which is an American automotive manufacturing company known for its eponymously named line of vehicles. It operates through three segments: automotive, mobility, and Ford Credit. The automotive segment sells Ford and Lincoln vehicles, service parts, and accessories through a variety of distribution channels, including their own dealerships where they sell to typical consumers, rental car companies, and government agencies. The mobility segment designs and builds mobility services and develops self-driving vehicles. Finally, the Ford Credit segment engages in the financing and leasing of vehicles to and through dealerships, providing retail installment sale contracts and direct financing leases, in addition to offering wholesale loans to dealers to allow them to finance their own dealerships. The company employs 183,000 workers and earned a total revenue of $136.34 million in 2021. The company primarily sells in North America, with it taking up 61% of its sales in 2021, followed by Asia with 21%, Europe with 12%, the Middle East with 2%, Central and South America with 2%, and Australia with 2%. Ford is a well-known brand in the vehicle sales industry, owning 12.63% of the American light vehicle market share, behind only General Motors and Toyota, and ahead of companies such as Stellantis and Honda. Ford is primarily held by institutional investors, who hold the silent majority of about 54.83%.
Let's quickly touch upon the investment thesis, which serves as the basis for us presentation. We have a target price of $22.18 a share from we want to sell, and Ford is known for its great customer loyalty, well-known and high-quality products, and a leading and expansive automotive team.
The global automobile manufacturing market grew at a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of around 0.5% between 2015 and 2019, but is forecasted to increase to a CAGR of about 5.6% from 2022 to 2027. Asia is the largest region in the global automobile sales market, accounting for 50% of all sales in 2021. Behind North America, 27%, Europe with 16%, South America with 3%, Oceania with 2%, and the Middle East 2%. Ford is the third largest light automotive manufacturer in the US with a 12.60% market share, behind General Motors, which is a 15.15% market share, and Toyota, which is a 15.09% market share. They are also ahead of companies such as Stellantis, which is 11.8% market share, and Honda, which is a 9.79% market share. As you can see in the pie chart, the American automotive industry is quite competitive. The top companies all within a few percent of each other.
Finds itself with many competitive positions and advantages. This is seen within their customer loyalty and satisfaction, overall quality and affordability, along with their diverse markets, China especially, and their strong recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Ford is the second largest truck/SUV producer in the world, and they have the potential to dominate the EV truck and SUV market with the lack of production, therefore. Now let's go for SWOT analysis. Let's start with the strength. Ford has global recognition as the second largest automotive manufacturer in the United States, along with being the fifth largest automotive manufacturer in the world. With over 10,770 plus dealers worldwide and a strong revenue of over 2021 fiscal year of $127 billion, Ford focuses on research and development along with fuel efficiency, customer satisfaction, and safety, as well as their emergence in the EV market as their strengths. We also have weaknesses of Ford, like over-dependence on U.S. market success, along with an over-reliance on trucks and SUVs, and a poor reputation as a luxury brand. There are some opportunities for Ford, however, as it's an eco-friendly vehicle produce, and they're more in production, and there's also an increase in the customer base and locations. From July to September 2020, Chinese sales grew by more than 25%. Ford also wants to improve and build more self-driving cars, which is seen with their investment in AI for electric vehicles, as well as their electric charging stations and more. Finally, Ford also has some threats, as well as high competition from Tesla and Honda, especially in the EV market, increased prices of raw materials, and market uncertainty from the COVID-19 pandemic. We also see closing plants in Brazil and India, as well as uncharted territory Ford finds itself in the newly developing EV market.
The first main driver of Ford's revenue is vehicle sales. Ford makes the majority of the revenue from their lines of Ford and Lincoln vehicles. Each brand makes a different type of consumer automobile. Ford typically focuses on pickup trucks and SUVs, while Lincoln makes luxury vehicles. Ford is a consistent leader in both these markets, a prime example being the Ford F-Series, which is the top-selling pickup truck in all but 2 months of 2021. The second main driver is servicing and parts. By providing their own replacement parts to automotive repair companies and consumers, Ford is able to gain revenue even when their vehicles are damaged and capable of use. Additionally, Ford offers programs that assist in the financing or leasing of Ford vehicles, making their vehicles more accessible to consumers of any demographic. The final driver is commercial. Beyond consumer sales, Ford further opens their target market to commercial, government, and rental car brands through their fleet programs. This program has been especially successful in the government sector, armored Ford vehicles regularly being used by both American and foreign government officials.
Now let's briefly touch upon Ford's investment risks. Ford is within a constantly evolving market that requires constant innovation, which means more money. Ford also falls behind if its competitors innovate faster than them, so Tesla or Honda taking the AI advantage over them. Potential low ROI with stagnant stock price over the past 10 years, but this is countered by the fact that Ford has also been growing for the past 10 years. COVID-19 pandemic also offers unpredictability along with the market and the automobile market. There's also a computer chip crisis causing increased uncertainty and prices to inflate, which could hurt Ford and their AI adventures. And there's also uncertainty with the EV market and how successful it'll really be and how many will actually establish themselves as the best in that market.
In our financial analysis, we found that overall, Ford has been a consistent company, with their ROE seeing no major dips or boosts over the last decade, instead hovering around 30%. This profitability should only increase the production of electric trucks and expansion into international markets over the next 5 years, where their CAGR is projected to increase to about 5.6%. We also see opportunities for growth. From 2015 to 2019, Ford has delivered a CAGR of around 0.5%, which is decent but not outstanding for such a large company as Ford. With the initial dip from the beginning of the pandemic in March 2020, Ford's stock has only been on the increase, with the occasional dips in April and August 2021.
Now it's time to look at our evaluation. We believe Ford is undervalued with a P/E ratio of 3.99 and is expected by analysts like us to grow by at least $6 a share over the course of the next year. 52-week high of $25.87 shows where Ford can climb and spike to, and with a relatively safe beta of 1.12, it shows only 12% more volatile than the rest of the market. We expect Ford to surpass the one-year estimate over a 3-day weekend, which is when SUVs and trucks sell the most. And an ideal time to sell this stock is around $23, which is more than the predicted one-year estimate, but less than this current 52-week high, which we believe Ford can get back to. We also project Ford to be a front runner in the EV market as it establishes itself more, which again is why we think Ford will reach that $23 number.
The current president and CEO of Ford is Jim Farley, who has held the position since October 2020. Before his promotion, Farley served as the company's chief operating officer, where he was responsible for strengthening the company's global automotive operations and overseeing mobility partnerships in Ford Autonomous Vehicles, LLC. As CEO, Farley is focused on the production of electric vehicles as well as creating software and electric vehicle technologies and services for the Ford Model E business unit, which he heads. Institutional investors hold a slight majority of Ford shares, about 54.8% of shares outstanding. The top 3 investors of the institutions are Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. The board of directors consists of 15 members, 10 of which are independent. There are no red flags regarding the company's related party transactions, shady accounting, or poor allocation of capital. Ford is a high achiever in the field of ESG, ranking in the 89th percentile according to CSR Hub. Ford is also slightly above the industry average in ESG. Their environmental section consists of a climate change strategy in which they plan to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050, working towards using sustainable plastics in vehicle production, and being transparent about their renewable energy sources. Their social section consists of their egalitarian work, their new codes of conduct for safety in the workplace, and expansion of a committee to focus on innovative policies. Finally, their transparency of data management and a committee dedicated to ESG practices shows that Ford is a company with great values at their core.
Now let's take a look at Ford's honors and awards. Ford won Best Company for Diversity 2021, Best CEO 2021, and Best Company Culture 2021, all by Comparably.com. Ford also won Ford Maverick 22 America Truck of the Year and Ford Bronco 2022 North America Utility Truck of the Year, both by the Blue Local. In addition, the Ford F-150 Green Truck of the Year and Ford Mustang Mach-E Green Car of the Year, both by the Green Car Journal.